Aloha guys, it's Shaco here, and well, seems that big things are going to happen into the Rift and into Shaco. Finally! To begin with, important. This information I say here may change over time, may adjust over the time, and it's normal. So we need a reliable place or a reliable source of information to keep updated with this. I guess you know the site Mobafire, which is it has been the top one site for guides, builds, or information you need related to League of Legends. You can find it there. Well, I have the top one guide for Shaco in there. Actually, it's in the top one and has been the top one for like 6 years since season 3. So it has like 10 or 11 million views. It's crazy. I keep all the information about Shaco there, and I will keep updating the guide with all the information we have here. So I leave the link below here, the link of the guide, and fixed in the comments. I guess I can put it there, hopefully. And you will be able to click there to check if the information has updated or whatever you you want to know. That's important. Also, if you didn't know Mobafire, I really recommend it. I'm dying. I recommend you to check it out because it's a pretty nice site. For anything you need from League of Legends, you can find it there, and it's pretty sweet. I pretty like it. That being said, let's analyze what do we know now. A few weeks ago, Mark Yetter, which is the lead gameplay designer of League of Legends, did something that we didn't expect at all. He asked the Shaco player base and the community about the champion, like asking why we didn't like the champion, how do we feel the current state of Shaco, and what do we miss of the old kit, or why don't we like it after the rework. Shaco community went crazy. He received tons, hundreds of answers, interactions, feedbacks. He received a lot of information that I guess kinda stressed Mark a little bit. Actually, it's true, neither the Shaco players or people that play against Shaco are happy with the state of the champion. It's frustrating for both sides. One side feels that he's very hard to play against, and the other side feels that it's not rewarding to play him, it finds frustrating, and it's not that fun to play anymore. So finally Riot decided to give him a look, to give him a tweak, and to find out what could make the champion better, fun to play, funnier to play against, and overall making Shaco fit into the meta. Sadly, pretty much only one-trick ponies play Shaco nowadays. Only people that has 100,000 games as him. You almost broke my camera, cat. Only people that has thousands of games as him played him actually. What once was an early game monster that we all loved and had a poor late game but has a very nice early game, now it's probably the weakest assassin champion. He has a frustrating and terribly bad early game and poor scaling. He's decent or kinda better late game, but not that good. There are better champions. Like, it's okay, Shaco scales to late game, but he cannot compare to Master Yi, for example. If I wanted to play a late game champion, why would I pick Shaco when there are better choices? But his early game is still terrible, so it's like he has no place for Summoner's Rift currently. So all kind of players, from the most humble simple players to pro players like Chase, Pingware, Shiclone, all these one-trick pony famous streamers starting giving a feedback in a very positive mood, in a very positive way, and Riot actually received information. After many days of feedbacks talking, we finally have a list of what changes are occurring to Shaco. Actually, many other Rioters joined the conversation and also added their opinion, so everything is going pretty nice, and we can expect this changer to occur on, I guess it's going to be on 9.62, 96, in a couple of patches. Overall, we can expect our motherfucking Shaco back to early game. Yay. Sweet. All these changes' objective is to bring back the Mad Jester to his original role, which was an oppressing early game and being able to make fancy plays in exchange of a not so good late game scaling. As you know, nowadays Shaco, it's more like a, hey, it's late game and I got 5 items champion now, and his early game, well, it's plain terrible. The first thing Riot is doing is increasing the base damage of Shaco abilities to make it less item dependent. Since now it relies on scaling, Shaco abilities deal almost no damage by themselves, which means that they are completely useless until we got plenty of AD and items in our kit, which means it's designed for late game. Since we want Shaco to be an early game beast, and that's what Riot is doing, all base damage are getting up in exchange of a smaller scaling. From now on, few rings on the knife will actually make damage. Sweet. The second change is probably the most important one. Shaco got his base damage up, cool. But there is something that we all missed and seems that it's coming back. Longer effects, also known as longer stealth duration. Since the assassin rework, Shaco got his Q, deceived, tweaked, so the stealth duration scaled up with ranks. That meant that until you got at least 3 points on it, you had a sad 1.5 stealth duration, which is terrible for ganking and for early game. This forced Shaco players to rank up the save first. By doing this, you could have longer stealth for ganking, but also meant that we had no damage, we had no ranks on 2-ship poison, and thus we didn't have any damage until late game. With the incoming changes, stealth duration in the Sieve is getting up, so we can expect Shaco being the early game ganking monster he used to be. Shaco will be able to rank his E first, which was the main idea of the original design, to be able to deal damage and gank early game, even if that means lower scaling for late game. Riot literally said Shaco shouldn't have to put early points on Q, so yeah, I guess we got the idea. Third change. One of the changes that were more asked was for his E, for his 2-ship poison for his famous knife. Now that the damage is fixed, with more base damage, less scaling, and being able to rank it first, only one change is needed to make it perfect, and not OP of course. Back in time, Shaco's E ability, 2-ship poison, dealt magical damage, not physical. This made Shaco very hard to build against, since he dealt both physical and magical damage. Well, dozens of players have asked this to come back to Shaco, so Riot is also making it happen. Shaco 2-ship poison will deal magical damage again. The Death 4 Grasp ship combo. Do you guys remember it? This will also be useful for AP Shaco players that will take much more profit from magic penetration items, sorcered boots, and other AP tools. The last change, Shaco's receiving, involves his ultimate. When Shaco's first rework happened, Hallucinate, also known as Shaco's clone, got slightly tweaked. Riot wanted it to be a crowd control tool, so they made the clone spawn 3 little jack-in-the-boxes after its explosion. Sadly, this thing didn't work especially well. The boxes were extremely vulnerable. Killing one would destroy them all. The CC wasn't great, and to be honest, most fights were over even before the clone itself exploded and the boxes could be used. Riot is making Shaco's ultimate explosion doing something useful. The main objective is making the clone explosion hitting something, dealing damage and being useful before the teamfight ends and with a reasonable hitting range. We haven't received numbers or details about this, but there are a few ideas. We can expect the explosion range being larger, so the clone damages with the explosion at least the target that he is auto-hitting. We can also expect the ultimate explosion scaling with AD. In addition, one of the more asked features is being able to explode the clone by yourselves. Enemies just kill double Shaco from afar. If it's the real Shaco, that's perfect, he will die. If it's the clone, it will deal damage at all and he will stop hitting, so win-win situation. Not needing to wait so much for the clone to burst and popping it in the right time would open space for massive Shaco plays and baits without making it OP. Think about it. Knowing that one of the Shacos can explode at any moment can make this beautiful, scary psychological effect that Shaco players love. Also, with these so many changes, we hope to see some updated in its particles that has been the same since Shaco released back in 2009, literally 10 years ago. The boxes, sadly, are probably being removed from Ultimate. All the changes will definitely make Shaco one of the best early game assassins in the game, even when this means being the weakest later. We can expect a lot of complaining about it from the rest of the player base, and since Riot knows this, we can expect some of these changes being adjusted to avoid toxicity. If you want to see how Shaco performs in high elo and what his common problems are, I'll be streaming every week on Twitch to help you Shaco players. Once the rework is released, I will stop eating and sleeping because reaching Challenger will be way more important. I will warn you through Twitter when more changes occur, or if the current ones change somehow. I'm also open to questions or doubts about the gesture, so feel free to ask for them. I don't know if this will bring Shaco back to the fun champion he used to be. He has never been in competitive gameplay, but at least we used to enjoy him a lot. Nowadays it's not that enjoyable anymore, so I really hope these changes will bring him back. Be sure to like the video if you love my sexy, fancy, charming, exotic accent from Spain. If you can send it and you would hit me in the face because my English is terrible, also hit like so I notice how much I care. Please don't hate me, I do my best. Knowing that Riot is making these changes, put Shaco on the table, something that players have been asking for years and seems to be finally blooming results. Thank you for watching, guys, you are so sexy.